Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in camp working. I'm ill, very ill. I had the flu this morning. I'm wiped right out. Taking all kinds of meds I got from CNRL medical stuff. So I'm pretty weak, but I have to do this live because my good friend Richard Albert, and it's a dear Richard Albert, dear Ottawa citizen. My friend Tammy Douglas sent me the link, and I want to make sure to get it out there. So again, everybody that's tuning in, I'm not well. I've got the flu. I'm off today in camp, which sucks. I woke up ill this morning, but I want to do this live. There's lots going on. We know that King Charles III is having his ceremony this weekend. Dennis Woodrich, I think I saw you there, or maybe not, but he made a post about 1885 and some frauds committed by the Canadian government, Sir John A. Macdonald of the time, on the First Peoples, especially numbered Treaty Indians, going through Manitoban historical photos. All great. But I want to do this, now that people are coming on, I want to do this live for Dr. Richard Albert and the publication in Ottawa, Ottawa Citizen. I want to go through everything as it really is. And what I did in Texas, in fact, I met lots of academics in Texas with Richard Albert, and he hooked me up. It was a great thing. And Richard is going through Jamaica right now, folks. He's going through all of the things I explored in Alberta independence. He's doing that with Jamaica. Same lines in the sand, same things found in international law. Richard published a referendum on leaving the monarchy, how easy that was done, how simplified the referendum process that's done by the Allies of World War II, which is number one, and that is international law and precedent. My three precedents in international law, which can never be ignored, or basically everybody generally in the world has heard of: the Germany precedent, 1945, Nazi Germany. I think everyone, at least Americans, can appreciate Japan, World War II, and what happened with the precedent of Japan, 1945, World War II. The precedent of South Africa, 1993, and what happened there. And I picked these three world precedents just because everyone in the world generally knows these three precedents, even though they don't know in international binding law, international authority, what exactly happened to these three countries. But you can all pull as I go through them and look at them. So Germany, and what I propose to do with Canada that will go over Richard Albert's publication. It will. And I want to go through that so he has it, so that the Ottawa Citizen has it, and all Canadians can have it, and all First Peoples, because I've worked at it for 5 years. I've done tremendous work. Even Richard Albert will give me credit for that. So Canadians right now, only 28% of Canadians wish to swear the oath that's being televised on all our media, that we're all supposed to share on all our devices, re-swearing and pledging our allegiance to King Charles III. Only 28% of Canadians want to do that. 60% outright reject King Charles III and the British monarchy. It's move on, let's make a real UN state called Canada. And that means our own country, folks. It means having our own country, crafting our own constitution. Now, Richard's right. When you read the introductory, just the first introductory of Canada, we don't get sovereignty as a country. We only get that through pledging our allegiance to King Charles III and all his heirs, as his mother before him and Victoria before that. We can go on and on. That's the history of Canada forever and a day, and it always will be. It always will be. But in world history, there are three countries who had the exact same design as Canada, and they most certainly did. In fact, the first international precedent is Germany. They not only took the monarchy for themselves through the equivalent of Governor General, meaning the president of then Germany at the time, swore into the crown, a crown colonial system, one of 7 crown colonials, empowered one Adolf Hitler with the crown. Because the president, I'm sick, everybody, bear with me, and I'm heavily medicated here, but I have to do this. So, the president of Germany appointed his crown, as Prime Minister of Canada is allowed to do, written exactly the same constitutionally. The president of Germany appointed. As president, you're allowed to fire all your crown appointments. You're allowed to make them. Exact same thing in Canada. Prime Minister makes the ultimate crown appointments. Governor General of Canada is our Majesty, is our Crown of Canada. Prime Minister can fire them, as we all watched and we all saw. The space astronaut, Payette, she was put down. Our Chief Justice Wagner was put up. Chief Justice Wagner rewrote a whole bunch of things. Now, Germany, precedent law. Adolf Hitler was appointed to Chancellor. He wasn't made Prime Minister. He didn't win an election. He got appointed to Chancellor. From there, he used his crown power, the exact same crown power as Governor General of Canada as it was in Nazi Germany, 1933. We saw the Enabling Act come. We saw the complete takeover of the justice system. And I should have turned off notifications. It's always the same people who think that somehow they're going to ruin my life, and I don't know. So everybody, Germany, Chancellor. From Chancellor, all appointed crown positions. Hitler took the entire justice system entirely. And this is the dark use of the crown power. He took the whole justice system. He took the entire military. He took the entire police. Same crown power through Governor General of Canada as it was Nazi Germany in 1945. We're going to go on to what happened to Nazi Germany after 1945. This was throughout 1933, through the Enabling Act, through the destruction of all political opposition, through military, police, and justice enforcement. That's how Hitler transformed Germany and went after the royal family. So right there, precedent number 1, everyone knows it. Germany took out the royal family. They almost did. It took Russia and USA to back up UK because France already fell. Another colonial fell. They were gone. Dark crown power. Precedent number 1. Whether people like that or not, that's the power that rests inside the constitutional monarchy of Canada. And anyone can read all those positions. I've went through the Constitutional Acts of Canada entirely, all consolidated all the way through. There's only one way forward. That's take Prime Minister in just minority. Follow Germany's example, not in an evil manner. We're going to get to it. Japan. Guess what happened in Japan, folks? The exact same thing. Went after Pearl Harbor, all done with the power of the crown. The same crown power Germany had, Canada has, Japan had it too. And Japan went with the Axis powers. Who were the Axis powers? All constitutional monarchies designed identically to Canada, Australia, New Zealand. There were many more before us, folks. But we were the first creation. Canada is numero 1, 1867. Even Germany, and its design that led up to World War II, was made after. Our third example I like to use, South Africa. South Africa, apartheid. All done with the power of the South African crown. Yes, UK always protected it. They used the dark crown power to do everything they did to all the native South Africans, original black South Africans, real Africans, persons of Africa, born from Africa with black variations of skin in South Africa. Those tribes, original peoples, they were brutalized by the South African crown through the crown. All precedent. All three of those countries were destroyed, dismembered by the Allies and imposed constitutions until the states could make their own. Why I bring you this international law? And it was done. You can trace all of them. Japan didn't get into the UN until 1956. Germany was dismembered, redesigned. They came after. None of the Axis got in for very many years. You will find everything in the UNSC, every report, every detail of what happened to those three countries. All done by the United Nations Security Council because they used the dark crown power that we're going to use, and I'm going to teach you in a minute. Now, number 2 in our lists of precedents that Richard Albert and no academic can explain. And I'm going to give you the number 1 Canadian evil precedent set by the Crown that didn't follow any of the rules you list, Richard, or anybody else. Why? Because the dark crown power was used. They did not go to the UK royal family. They didn't use anybody, no precedents in amendment procedures. They didn't do anything through House and Senate or any of it. It was done entirely through the Crown. Privy Council through Governor and Council, and not a word was said. It was shove it up your butt, all Canadians and all First Peoples. What precedent happened in 1956 that is outside the control of the Allies of World War II? More than that, completely breaching the royal family, King Charles III's mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Well, that would be the Canadian Crown removing the Jay Treaty from Canada. For those who don't know, the Jay Treaty is a British treaty still alive and well today, honored by the United States of America and the British Parliament and the Crown of the United Kingdom, which is currently going to be King Charles III, but it was his mother before that. What is the Jay Treaty? It allows all American Indians to free flow back and forth in the continent known as North America, as all First Peoples and all American Indians who are one person knew it as Turtle Island. All American Indians are allowed to freely come and go to Turtle Island, and Canadian First Peoples. You don't need a passport. You don't need any of that. You just need your treaty card and you can come and go to the United States. In 1956, the Canadian government, through Governor General of Canada, the Crown of Canada, arbitrarily and autocratically, with that crown power, removed the Jay Treaty. That is a UK royal family treaty with all First Peoples in North America. The American government didn't even remove theirs. They still honor it. So all Canadian First Peoples can freely go to the United States with nothing but their treaty card. That's it. That's it. On the other side, now, when an American Indian tries to cross over into their ancestral lands in Canada, they have to go through the immigration process. They have to be assimilated into the Canadian system, outside of the historical treaty of the United Kingdom. See what's happened here, folks? See the precedent set? The Crown decided to do what it wants. What Crown? The Canadian Crown. Because since World War II, under the United Nations, all UN states have sovereignty. The royal family is not allowed to directly rule on any country anywhere in the world. Nowhere. They still do because they get tribute from corrupt politicians like all of Canada's political parties. Richard's right that we would never see an amendment any other way than through the Crown. The entire House, Upper Senate is appointed and sworn to the Crown. They only exist as long as they swear allegiance to the Crown. So does the House of Commons. You can't become an MP without swearing an oath of allegiance to the Crown. See the problem here? You want to get rid of the crown, but your existence is the crown. It's impossible with both houses automatically. Even if somehow you could convince the House to do it, none of the senators will. Not one. None of the crown appointments will either, unless you elect a prime minister, just minority, the title of prime minister, who within election day gives 30 days notice to terminate all crown positions, which gets into the next thing. Governor General of Canada is appointed by Prime Minister alone. There's no election, it's an appointment. Sworn to the Prime Minister, brought forward by the Prime Minister, the Governor General of Canada appoints all Lieutenant Governors of every province and the 3 territorial commissioners. Richard talked about, but what about the territories? That's why we take the 3 territorial commissioners. Now, there are many more crown appointments. I haven't even skimmed the surface. I'm just giving you the bread and butter of the major ones. There's a crown appointment for the justice system. Big surprise. There's crown appointments for the military. There's crown appointments for the police. Hitler did all these things. He did it to be evil. But folks, knowing that you will never be able to get upper and lower house and amendment procedures to ever remove the monarchy because their existence is bound to it, we must take the crown. That means getting elected to minority prime minister. That means hosting constitutional conventions. How do you force it? If you have the entirety of the crown as Adolf Hitler, as Japan and as South Africa did, you have entire control of the justice system. You have the military, you have the police, you also have the consolidated funds, both federally and all provinces and territories. More crown appointments. The finance side, there are appointments for that. You can't get paid as a senator or an MP or many other elected positions unless the crown says you does. The military and police will follow the crown. They're ultimately sworn to the crown. It's how they exist constitutionally. Contrary to what people believe, lawyers, justices, police, and military follow the Constitution and the laws. You can watch it. Any military man will tell you that's their oath of allegiance. That's what they do. We are not going to do anything evil to anybody. All we promise to do is lock out the legislatures, all of them, and the territories, and the federal House. We lock them all out. We prorogue them, shut them down until all those MPs, regardless of parties, if they want to be paid from the consolidated funds, and this goes for every legislature too, all MLAs, MNAs for Quebec, you won't see a dollar. You won't be able to sit in your house, legislature, or parliament until constitutional conventions are completed in every community, town hall, and Indian Reserve in Canada for all peoples, a nation within a nation. And before everybody says this is impossible, and Richard says, I don't think you can do that, the Allies absolutely did that. They absolutely did it. And they also, to finalize, did the most simplest of all referendums. When it was for independence, it was a wave goodbye or shake hands, or a bird flying away, or people embracing each other. That is how referendums are done on the international level. They're administered in every town hall, community, reservation, and for displaced peoples, every nation that they became a refugee all around the world. I could go through many, many more. Sudan, everybody knows Sudan in the news today. Did you know there's a country called South Sudan? Did you know at one time it was Sudan and South Sudan, and they were one, and that those people had to do a referendum that was administered by the UNSC entirely around the world. Again, a handshake or a wave goodbye. And 90-some%, whether you could read, write, or not, you had that pictorial referendum. You voted, and everybody voted, goodbye, Sudan, we're South Sudan. And they got it. And it was administered here big regions in Toronto, the Sudanese community, 2005. Big community of Sudanese right in my hometown, Edmonton, North Side. They all got to do it. We interviewed them in the 2019. Folks, all this is possible with just winning Prime Minister. And again, anyone who says, oh no, the UK has precedent, they do not. Not in international law, not since World War II. That is forbidden. And again, we can go back to the one Canadian precedent that United States never broke, UK never broke, Canada's Crown did. They didn't get permission from King Charles's mother or anybody in the UK or UK Parliament or followed any other procedures except for one procedure, the Crown right of Governor General on advice of the Prime Minister. All LGs accepted it. Why? Because the Lieutenant Governors of the provinces are sworn and bound to the Governor General of Canada. Prime Minister appoints the Governor General, instructs the Governor General to appoint all territorial commissioners and all Lieutenant Governors of the province. They are the heads of state of each respective. They can also do territorial and provincial constitutions. Right now we all have Executive Power Acts, Executive Authority Acts, or Executive Territorial Authority Acts. Every single one through all of our amendments in Canada, no complex procedure, all Crown authority procedure, meaning just the Crown decided that in Privy Council, the Prime Minister under the Governor General of Canada, Governor in Council. Look at it, folks. Nobody voted for redrawn boundaries throughout the years, 1905, 1897. We can go on and on. The original provinces, well, we're 10 today, folks. And we're 3 territories. Remember none of it? That's the most recent one, too. Where did all those come from? How come nothing was published? It was all done with the Crown power. And now they make up a complex way of getting out of everything so that the Crown rules can never be changed. That is until you win the highest elected position in Canada, Prime Minister of Canada. And then it's up to that Prime Minister, even in minority, to fire immediately upon election. We're going to give you the platform. Give live in front of everybody. We give letters of you're fired to the Governor General Mary Simon, all Lieutenant Governors of the provinces, all territorial commissioners. They get it in writing. It goes to the House of Commons, regardless of all the political parties. Every member gets it. You, the Canadian public, you, the first people, televised right across the election the day of a win. You notify that. 30 days, you ascend your loyal Crown positions. Folks, there's more than 140. There's 142 Crown positions that have to be appointed in that scenario of a political party. That's never been done before. Nobody wishes to do it. But right there, that is how it's done in a nutshell, how the country's taken back and we're forced into constitutional conventions for and by all the people over the age of 18. And you know what? You, the people, craft it in every town hall, community, and Indian reserve across Canada, a nation within a nation, 2 in 1, one UN state, just as the Allies specified. If we didn't do it that way, they would have anyway, because they've done it 84 times since World War II. Very recent ones, folks. And Sudan will be going through one, I'm sure, too. This is reality. Ottawa citizen, my good friend Dr. Richard Albert, that's what we're doing. We're not doing any declarations. We're not doing anything else. We're giving the power to the people by taking the dark crown power. Adolf Hitler did it. Japan did it. South Africa did it. They did it for evil purposes. We saw how well that worked for them, but we're going to do it for good. I'm not writing any constitution. Our parties are not writing any constitution. Everything that's going on right now in Canada, should we win in 2025, let's just say that platform will go out. We'll roll over the budget. The government doesn't shut down. Everything works. The only thing that's shut down is those with the ability to pass legislation. Those houses are null and void. Those people have to go out into their communities where they've been elected, or for Senate, if you're appointed, they'll be ordered. They'll be ordered through the Crown. You will go out, you will administer these constitutional conventions. And whether they do or not, doesn't matter. If they want to get paid, they want that fund to pay them, no worries. If you don't want to be paid, we'll just get somebody else. We'll just pay them with your money. And anyone who thinks that those consolidated funds don't work exactly like that, well, I'm sorry to tell you, they do. They're all administered by the Crown. We could go through endless amounts of precedent, endless amounts of current data to show you just in the last year out of the consolidated funds and how those monies went out and who used them for what, why investigations don't happen, who has the authority and who doesn't. It all goes in a Crown system. The other side of this supposed democracy that isn't a democracy, it's the pre-communism, it's the caste system. And it's got to go. It's got to go, folks. That's what there is. And again, for anyone who thinks we're communist, we're not. Anyone who talks about private property, I'm going to say this again, anyone who ever accuses you, oh, you're a communist, it's impossible. Because we're promising to release all of the 91% of the Crown land held by that first elite class in the Crown. Not you, the people, not you, the first people. We're going to divide it 50-50. Private property for all of you. And we will write the rules on how that works. Biodiversity, we will take into all those accounts. Every Canadian will be involved. Every first person will be involved. Two nations, a nation within a nation. Again, for those who try to accuse of that's impossible or that's cockamamie, that's exactly the United States today. I mean, exactly the United States today. And you can go look at that. And I've had that before from people going, that's not right, that'll never happen. Well, it just happened south of the border. It happened. They're more than 50 years ahead of us, folks. It happened in the 70s. And it can happen here, too. We can take the Crown power, and instead of following the nuttiness of fascism and National Socialism, either spectrum that are tied together universally forever and a day, we can take those and we can save every province and territory. Not only do they get a federal rewrite, fully dismembered and rewritten, they also get to, for the first time, take their provincial identities, take Section 92 all the way to 144, and for the first time the people, all the people and all the First Peoples get the powers of a province bestowed upon you, tremendous rights and freedoms, the power to codify your property rights, your water rights, and we go on, natural resources. The list is huge. There's civil rights, civics. We can change our education system, how healthcare works, make it work for us and not a divine elite, a sick system of associations that only work at the bequest of the Crown. Again, for the wealthy elite, well, you all suffer and you all go poor and in poverty in a broken health, broken education system. You can all fix it all. Oh, sorry. I had to do the video and I didn't want to. I'm very sick, but I should be better in a day or so anyway. But that's my video. Get it out there, everybody. Share. We're coming in 2024 very early. There's going to be five new ridings. One's lost, so it looks like we're only going by 4, but we're actually, one's getting dissolved in Quebec and an extra one's being put in Alberta. So we got 3 in Alberta. We got one in Ontario and one in British Columbia. So 5 new MP ridings, electoral districts, and they're going to be redrawn. I don't know for sure where those are going to be yet. They don't have to technically go by population. I can get a good idea of where I think they're going to be, but we're going to need 5 representatives. We're going to have our party in place for June of 2024. That is a fact. That is going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to learn of this truth by December of 2023 here, and I wish to register the party by November of 2023. Right now, we're a little over 900 members. I do have a bunch of emails I have to respond to. We have new people signed up from all over Canada, and First Peoples too. I'm excited about that. But we need more. We need lots of First Peoples. And another thing we're doing is we're doing a 50-50, as we're doing the land divided from the Crown. Nobody's private property. The Allies in history, if we let this fester, and we let Canadians, let's say in 10 years, everyone's had enough, and it goes revolution like all these other countries did, or they go cockamamie, you get crazy radical governments. The Allies do step in at those points. We're watching it with Sudan right now, and they will administer their own. And often they take all the private property, put it in a pile, and then they divide it that way. What we're saying is, no, leave everything historically done the way it is. Don't impact anybody. Don't aggravate anybody. What you have now, you have tomorrow. What we're saying is 91% of Canada not available to any of you. The Crown land will be taken, will be divided in half, 50% for the First Peoples, 50% for Canadians. That's how it should be done. And it's the best we can do. I can't restore Turtle Island. You can't commit human rights violations against the Allies' laws, taking things from other people to give it to somebody else. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that's just sadly how it is. Whether people like it or not, it's the fairest we can do for everybody. And I think that's the best that can be done. You can all write your laws. The biggest thing is rules of governance, how to govern, and accountability. For First Peoples, you get provincial powers for the first time in all of your colonial lives. Since colonialism, you've never had those provincial powers, even though you created federalism. Your ancestors created federalism. Federalism they took from you. They changed, and it affected Russia. It affected USA. It went very far in the northern Icelandic, out of the Arctic. You created that, and it's been taken from you. Well, we're going to give you that back, and for all Canadians who've never had a true federalism, you're going to get it too in the provincial crown. Again, section 92 to 144. If you've never read it, there's tremendous there. And if anyone's never read Part V of 1867, never dismembered, never removed, it says provincial constitutions, and it goes right into lieutenant governor. This is how I was able to discover every single amendment in Canadian history, all the way up through 1982, forming every single province, and the dirtiness of 1982 with Peter Lougheed and Pierre Elliott Trudeau, the dirtiness that they would codify provincial powers in a federal blanket for all. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It's unconstitutional. 1982 is unconstitutional. But nothing unconstitutional can't be made constitutional with the Crown. I learned that from you, Richard, and I've learned that from many academics. And folks, the power of the Canadian Crown that we will take, and we will publish all 142 of those Crown appointments. We will publish them all in our platform, 2024 for the 5, and then in 2025 for the general election. We will publish all of them for all of you. And you'll see it. You will too, Richard, and so will the Ottawa citizen. Again, I'm sorry I'm congested. I'm not well, but I should be good in a couple days, and I still want to do my videos, everybody, on Pigs at the Trough, because it's grown even more and more, and there's a lot going on in Alberta. I got contacted by Elections Alberta, and people and their ideas. I'm not going into any election. I'm not going into a provincial cycle. I'm going federal. And people can think about me or whatever, but no, I have a mission to destroy the Crown. Nothing's going to change for any province or territory or the country as a whole until we destroy the Crown. I think when we, the people, codify constitutional conventions by all underneath our Crown appointments, and we do that, then we can make a country for all of us, for all First Peoples, all Canadians, the nation within a nation. Go back to the canoe and the boat, whatever you want to call it, but give everybody wealth, tremendous wealth. And, the way the crown works, it's always about taking all the wealth from all the people, the subjects and the savages. The system's broken. It's disgusting. I hope none of you swear any oath of allegiance to Charles. If anything, you should be booing. I can't believe how much money through C11 Canadian content. You guys watch all the ads on the news. Your favorite device and device share, the government's going to pay for it and you can swear your allegiance online. Like, how sick, perverted, and ridiculous to be in 2023 and we're all watching as lunatics pledge their allegiance to a far-off dictator that has nothing to do with you, doesn't care about you, is wealthier than beyond all measure for no good reason, and your corrupt, filthy politicians support it because they have a license to steal. As long as they honor that crown, they keep their legal crown, and they hide behind the United Kingdom's veto powers of bounding member of the United Nations Security Council. And they're unlawfully supporting that. And if anyone thinks that they can get away with that eternally with the other P5 members, you're mistaken. All you have to do is look at the recent South Africa. And when USA said no more and they teamed up with China and Russia, UK folded like a paper airplane. And you know what? What kind of American would think that that is somehow anything to do with them when they were founded on independence from that tyranny, when they took those loyalists and threw them into the rivers, lakes, and oceans? I hate to say it, this is the truth. Took them and hung them up in the streets. They ran. And where did they go? They headed to Quebec, British Quebec. And they've been there ever since to administer this unjust tyranny on all of us. They call themselves liberals. They call themselves liberal conservatives. You can call whatever party they want today. They are built, founded, and cemented in that. NDP has handled the crown too many times. They're corrupted now too. Their founding membership's almost dead. Nearly all dead. The ones that remain are in their 90s, folks. We have to shut this down, we the people. That's all Canadians, all First Peoples. 50-50 all the way through. Half the crown appointments will be First Peoples, the other half regular Canadians. Half the MPs First Nations, half the MP candidates Canadians. And that's how we're going to do this together. Canoe in the boat. That's how it has to be done. And Canadians who can't see that, you're only going to be slaves for the rest of your lives, your children's lives, your children's children's lives, and they will get less and less and less, and the crown will get bigger, bigger, bigger. It's worse than communism, folks. It's the pre-communism, a rigged system for a divine elite in a pyramid scheme. I don't advocate communism. I advocate massive private property rights modeled just like the United States of America. And remember this, 94.5% of America is available to all the American people. It's why you can go even to a state like Florida and find a place for $40,000 that would cost you $1 million in Toronto. That is sick, obscene, radical, and crazy. But nobody sees a problem with a overinflated economy based on slave debt loading the people who are either subjects defined or savages defined. Now, this Saturday you all have a choice. You can go on your devices, stream live, government's going to pay for the wild party, and you can go pledge your allegiance. Or you can enter a down with the crown, end colonialism. Put the hashtags in. That's what everybody should do Saturday. And I'm going to make posts about that all week. I hope I get better, and I'll do my pigs at the trough. I want the energy, everybody. I don't have it today, but I'll get better. We'll see how it goes. I might postpone to next week, so I'm just going to do textual posts for a few days, guys. This is my video. I had to do it. Thank you, Tammy, for bringing that to my attention. And Richard, everything I say here, you will find, every academic will find, is backed up in international law, international precedent, and domestic history that nobody can wipe away. You can't. All the UNSC reports are there. You want to find out about Japan? Boom, 1956 as well. It's there in the UNSC reports. Everything all those countries did. Anyone can reach out on Twitter. You can get a hold of all the UNSC representatives, every single one, even Russia. And for those that think, oh, Russia's doomed, Russia's not doomed. They were just president of the UNSC. USA didn't throw them out because they know it's a declaration of World War III. We've been on this precipice many times. And you know what? Freedoms that happen to countries like Jamaica, Barbuda coming, and the rest of them, many more, and things that could be Canada's, happen when they're at their worst. We do the best. And that's when we got to take the opportunity. We have to do this election. We have to push it through. We've got to get it done. Everything in the world doesn't have to be evil. It can be good too. And what we're going to do is push through the good power of the crown to destroy the crown, giving tiny little crowns to each and every one of you. What does that mean? Your sovereignty. Your sovereignty as a real citizen of your country, that those serve you. You elect people to serve you under a constitution you've all crafted, created through constitutional conventions, 6 to 9 months. Don't worry, it's going to be in every major language available in Canada by the world's greatest legal minds. I've been collecting them for many years. We have a whole presentation on how they'll be paid, again, through consolidated funds. Nothing anybody can do about it when you hold the Prime Minister in minority, just in minority alone. That's my video. Thanks, everybody. Share. Go through them 1 to 3. You'll find they're all true. It's been done evilly. I gave you 3 evil examples of 3 evil countries, all the way up to modern times, that you all know that all did exactly what I'm going to do. They did it for evil. We're doing it for you, the people, for the good. For the first time ever, we're showing the allies of World War II, you don't have to step in. That we're going to follow your precedents. We're going to do it ourselves. And you'll be invited, as every country in the world, to bring your experts and be involved. And if there's anything they want to add or suggest, we're going to take it too. But that's how it's done. And you won't find any other history except for that since World War II. And many times the crown has gone down. Many times. I say we, the people, do it ourselves. We do it. We elect a PM to do it. And it's not about me. It's about all of you. That's what we're giving you. The gift of your power as your own person, a real person. First Peoples and Canadians alike. No trickery, no lies, no deceit, just the truth of it, fully displayed in a platform that nobody can take from you. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Bye now.